Welcome. We've been having some connection issues. You know, if you live in the UK, you know what I'm talking about. Facebook, TikTok, all big platforms have been down most of the day. I don't know what's been happening, but we are online now and hopefully for a long time. I hope everyone is watching. And I mean everyone. Because there is connection issues. I've actually tried to restart my stream about 4 times, and it took me a while to get in to the stream, to the platform. But we are live now, and hopefully, touch wood, that we stay live. Now, if you watched me yesterday, I done a couple of videos yesterday. I wasn't really at the races yesterday. I didn't really feel that well. But I've had a couple of coffees, a couple of drinks of water, and I'm back to do this video. And for people listening on the Spotify, on the podcast, I haven't forgot about you. I haven't forgot about you guys. Not at all. I know I've been slow putting some videos up on audio for the F1 community, but I will start tonight putting some up from the beginning. Australian Open, I'm going to work my way up. They're all going to be just debriefs. So, and this football one, the one we've done yesterday, that will be going up online as well later on as well. The Hoover is actually running. So whoever's running that Hoover knows exactly what they're doing. But I'm going to bring in Michael Hughes, my partner in crime, Mr. TOTO. Abba! You know how long, yeah? We're not even live on TikTok yet. I'm actually going to put that live on TikTok. I'm actually going to let you talk, yeah? Just style it out, and I'm going to set up the TikTok. So how you been, Toto? Big up.
Yeah, I've been well. The day's been going well for me so far. Nothing really been going wrong, really. Of course, there's a lot of talk about Formula One, isn't there? Championship going to be decided by 3 drivers: Lando, Piastri, and Max. Of course.
What do you think of that, Toto? I think. There you go.
Look, I think it's going to be close.
Nah, I'm not going to give up to that yet. It's too early for me.
The way McLaren's running, I think the Red Bull is a much better car now. It's a much
ever since the international break.
Yeah, it was ever since Netherlands when he won the Netherlands Grand Prix. Ever since then, he was winning. I think 4 out of his 5 races, the highest he finished out of all of them was second. So he did gain a lot of points. You got to regard the McLaren DNS as well. Lost a lot of points.
Yeah.
Lando finishing 8th in Baku. Piastri getting a DNF. In Netherlands, you had Lando having a DNF. Italy, Max won. Baku, Piastri had a DNF. Lando finished, like I said, 7th. I didn't say 7th, but 7th. Verstappen, you finished 2 places above the McLarens in Singapore. So even though it don't look like Verstappen's going to win the championship, it just puts him there as a contender, because he's now in the 300s now. He's only like 40 points away from
yeah, I know, but yeah, 100. I know what you're saying. Listen, it'd be stupid, look, it'd be naive of us to think he's not going to be in the championship. I'm just, cracking jokes. But guys, remember on the audio, this is episode. Let me see what episode it is. I think it's 65. This is episode 65 of the debrief. 65 of the debrief. And this is what we're going to be talking about, is what happened over the weekend, the sprint weekend. We've got expert analysis, Mr. TOTO Abba. He's going to be talking about everything what's going on in Formula One and what happened yesterday. Well, I'm just going to talk about Max Verstappen. He ain't winning no world title. I don't care. I'm going to come out and say it now. He ain't winning no world title. Too far back. I think what's going to happen now, the next race is coming up is Mexico. And I think they're going to get the crap together. And I think McLaren will pull rank. They'll pull rank and say, "Look, Piastri's the guy. That's it. Piastri's going to be the guy. We're not going to sacrifice Piastri's points for Max Verstappen to catch him up. That's what I would do. And I would love Lando to win the world title. I've gone on the record to say that I would love Lando to win the world title. But at the end of the day, he's had his opportunities. He had his opportunity in Baku to gain some points on Oscar Piastri. He didn't really come. Nothing really happened. He kind of bottled it, in my opinion. He had a chance to get some good points on Piastri because Piastri had that DNF in it, and nothing happened. He didn't capitalize it. Did he finish with about 3 or 4 points, Toto? Something like that, innit? He finished with that 3 or 4 points at Baku.
Yeah.
Right.
Finished 7th.
So he didn't capitalize on it, and he should have. And he's made silly little mistakes here and there throughout the season. And this is what Oscar Piastri has got a good gap on him. And I think Oscar Piastri, I think he's got 40 odd points in front of Max Verstappen now. So I think at the end of the day, I think that's going to be enough for Oscar Piastri. All Oscar Piastri has to do now is get in the top 3, try and get in the top 3, top 2, or win the occasional race to the end of the season. I think that'll be enough to get him over the edge. I think that I think at the end of the day, Lando's chances have diminished, in my opinion. I think it's diminished. I think for me, I would just hand the baton to Oscar Piastri, because it's to keep messing around all these papaya rules and all this utter. Yeah, what's gonna happen is Max is gonna catch him up and beat both of them. And that'll be down to McLaren, and that'll be the biggest bottle job in F1 history if they allow that to happen.
Yeah, it is close. Verstappen's in that range of points, about 40 plus points away. If you looked around 4 or 5 races ago, and we said that Max is in the championship, we would be called delusional. You know, a lot of people would call delusional, saying Max in the championship 5 races ago. But now all of a sudden, Max didn't even believe it himself. But now all of a sudden, Red Bull's had that good car. Even then, when Red Bull won in Netherlands, there was really no hope for Verstappen to catch her back in the championship. Now he's in that 300 range, same as the McLarens, and that's on McLaren. I think it's all these papaya rules and not enough consistency in these races.
I think. Who do you think it's down to? I think who are you blaming in the team?
I think the whole team. Whole team.
Nah. Come on, who you blaming?
Of course, you got to blame Lando as well.
No. Apart from the drivers, yeah, all these papaya rules, utter garbage, yeah. Who you blaming? Because I'm blaming right, this guy. I don't care what anybody says. I'm blaming this guy, right? Because at the end of the day, he should forget all saying our drivers are equal and we've got to do it this way, we've got to do it the proper way. He's been coming on the record saying, we have to be fair to the drivers. Can someone please tell me something, yeah? Please someone tell me something. When you got 2 drivers, yeah, and the stewards say that they come together, yeah? They come together like they did a couple of weeks ago. Then the stewards say, no further action. The thing about it, they didn't even DNF. All Oscar Piastri did is lose 1 or 2 positions. It's not like he went right to the back, you get me? He didn't go to the back of the queue. He lost 1 or 2 positions in the first corner, yeah, of Singapore. Now, the steward said no further action. Now, please tell me, why is McLaren punishing their driver? Why is McLaren punishing Lando? Us is gonna get priority. What priority, man? What priority? Where did Lando finish? Yeah, and where did Oscar finish? So he didn't really work out. What you need to do what Button says. Jensen Button said it on the weekend. He said it perfectly. He said it perfectly, man. He said, when you start putting rules into 2 drivers, especially when they're fighting for the world championship, yeah, something's going to happen. They're going to come together. They're going to get miscombobulated and they're going to hit each other. And what happened? I know Nico Hülkenberg was in the way. Yeah, the clown. I know Nico Hülkenberg got in the way. But at the end of the day, yeah, forget all the rules. You know what I would say to the drivers? I'd say to the drivers, right, you over there. No one's getting punished, yeah? No one's getting punished. But all I'm saying is whoever gets the fastest time in qualifying has the priority, but you do not crash into each other, because I would say to Lando Norris, if you deliberately crash into Oscar Piastri, I'll give you a car that even a Mini would beat you on the straight. I would turn down your engine to make your engine no more than 50 miles per hour. I'll make sure you finish at the back of the queue. Very simple. If you crash into your teammate deliberately, very simple. And I guaranteed that they will not crash into each other. I guaranteed they will not crash into each other. That's the way I would implement the rules.
Plus,
but all this, I've got to punish you. For what? The steward said, wait, hold on, sorry, Toto. But the steward said that there was no further investigation. So why are McLaren punishing their driver? And Red Bull, they're looking at the bunch of these idiots and they're saying, look at them. Look how they're fighting like a bunch of clowns. We've got the best car now. We'll just come up and beat them both. And that's what's happening. And this guy, I don't care what anyone says, yeah, I might be wrong. He's one of the main guys behind it, because Zach Brown, I don't think Zach Brown will be he's like this, you get me? Because Zach Brown he likes racing, isn't it? Yeah. He's got cars, he's actually raced before. He knows what it's like when you get two teammates fighting for a championship. He's a student of the game. You get me? He's a student of the game. This guy's more rule based, you get me? Not Andre Stella. He's more like your headmaster at school. One of them ones. He's there to calm the ship. But Zach Brown from McLaren, yeah, right? He's more of a driver. So he'll look at it from a driver's point of view, you get me? Now, what McLaren needs to do, McLaren needs to sort this out, yeah? Because if they don't sort it out, yeah, the clown Max Verstappen, yeah, is going to come through and beat them both. I don't think that's going to happen. If they carry on this journey, or we have to have everything equal, or they have to wipe each other's bottom at the same time. We don't want none of that, yeah? We want two drivers going out there, fight for the championship, but do not crash into each other. That's very simple.
I think they've already won the constructors' title as well. I think it's now down to individual performances now. It should be race engineer versus race engineer. There shouldn't be no punish that, because it just gives the other driver an advantage. And you want to
read this, or you want me to read it? Go on.
I'll finish my point, and then we can
go
read
ahead.
it. Then
Not told.
Say Piastri and he's getting an advantage and Norris is getting punished. It's not fair on Norris, because Norris is challenging for the championship. Now,
exactly.
If Norris weren't challenging for the championship and there was literally mathematically he couldn't win the championship, then maybe understandable. But still, it's coming to the end of the season. Just let the drivers race. The driver standings now. Piastri's got 346 points. Norris has got 332, which is good about Norris because he gained a lot of points this race.
Yeah, away from
Max. And Max has got 306.
So how many Piastri's he got?
346.
So he's got 40 points on Max.
Max has got 306.
Yeah, and he's got 346.
332.
Yeah, but Frinky's got Piastri's got 346.
Yeah.
So he's got 40 points on Max. I think Piastri's going to win the title.
No, I think there's 5 races to go now.
I think Piastri, and the Mexico.
Red Bull's got a fast car now.
Yeah, but that Mexico track is
street track.
Tailor made for that McLaren car. It's tailor made. Trust me, it's tailor made for them slow speed corners. Is there?
Yeah.
Let's just read it. This is for the YouTubers and the Spotify people watching. I'm in the Spotify and iTunes. I'm reading an article off F1 website. Stella insists, right? Andre Stella insists the Drivers' Championship is still in our hands and that Norris had the pace to win. He did have the pace, but unfortunately, he couldn't pass. And I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. I don't think when it comes to wheel-to-wheel driving, I don't think that's Norris's best asset in a Formula One car. I'm just putting that politely. You get me? I'm not saying he's not good. He's a Formula One driver. He's there for a reason. But I wouldn't say out of his traits, I don't think that's his best trait. You get me? Wheel to wheel. I'd say wheel to wheel. I'd look at someone like Lewis. I look at someone like Alonso. I look at someone like Kimi Räikkönen back in the day when he was there. Even not so much maybe Vettel, maybe when he was at the Red Bull. But when it comes to wheel to wheel, that's not even Piastri. I think Piastri's good at wheel to wheel, but when it comes to Lando Norris, for me, for the way I've looked at it, I don't think that's his best traits, as a driver. So I'm going to put Stella. Andre Stella gave his view on how the United Grand Prix planned out for McLaren, with Lando Norris finishing on the rostrum Papa Prior team, whatever. Papaya rules, Papaya team, whatever, bro. Andre Stella was different in the wake of United States Grand Prix, maintaining that the outcome of the Drivers' Championship in 2025 remains in McLaren's hands despite Max Verstappen resurgence in form. The Dutchman has won 3 out of the last 4 Grand Prix, as well as the sprint race in Austin. And to slash Oscar Piastri's lead in Drivers' Championship, Piastri remains 40 points clear of Verstappen, with Lando Norris 14 points behind his teammate in second. Norris was stronger of the 2 McLaren drivers at the circuit of the Americas, finishing second behind Max Verstappen in a hard-fought race that saw him have to overtake Charles Leclerc twice on track. So, for me, right, I agree partly that he did have the pace, but the reason why he couldn't pass him is because of the Ferrari. Now, the problem McLaren have now, it's not like back in the day where they're clear favourites and the fastest goal second, but now Ferrari and Mercedes is drawing the mix. So they're going to throw in a spanner in the works. It's not like we're going to have Max Verstappen winning every race and McLaren coming second. Mercedes and Ferrari will have something to say about that. You get me?
It'll be harder for McLaren to get results now.
To get a second or first all the time, innit?
Yeah, and I think Lando should have capitalised on points throughout the season. He was way too inconsistent. Piastri, on the other hand, was winning consistently, getting second consistently, but most of the time winning. That's why he's got that good point gap. Mate, look, it has diminished ever since he had that DNF. It has diminished. Of course, the sprint race is also key, and they both lost points on that. So it brings the championship closer and closer. Ferrari's getting much quicker, so it will be hard for McLaren to get results now. They just need to try get a good qualifying. Of course, George Russell and Mercedes. Not so much Antonelli, because Antonelli, he's still getting the ropes of it, getting the hang of it. But you see, Russell is outperforming that Mercedes car. Lewis and Leclerc working good together. Finally, the strategy's coming good. Ferrari had a good strategy this USA Grand Prix. Thought had a decent strategy, got himself up there. And I think Ferrari as a whole is getting better as a car. Hopefully in the next regulation they're good, but what about this season? Ferrari's getting so much more better. They're finishing higher. They're challenging for podiums again. Mid-season it weren't like that. Ferrari's put a few more upgrades on their car, and usually the back end of the season when you see the cars get better, they're usually ones that are good next season as well. Yeah. Hopefully they're like that. So Ferrari's doing well. Mercedes, again, another one to watch out for next season. And of course this season, because Mercedes are getting better, Russell's outperforming that car. Amazing there. It's going to be hard for McLaren. It's going to be really, really hard. McLaren don't seem like that dominant car like the first half of the season. For most of the season, McLaren was a dominant car, but now all of a sudden, I know. When Red Bull had that upgrade at Netherlands, and it's just absolutely changed everything.
Ever since the summer break,
Ferrari and Mercedes, they got better.
Ever since the summer break, they found some speed in the car, and that's what they've done. They found the speed, and now it's game on. But the problem that McLaren have had, that they've got, is that Mercedes and Ferrari have found some speed as well. So it's not like it's going to be, like I said, they come first, they come second, McLaren's second, and Max first. No, they're going to have to work a little bit harder. So McLaren needs to make a decision, because I can't see Max Verstappen slowing down in that car. I think they brought an upgrade to it. I think they've still got another upgrade to come. They see a chink in the armor of McLaren, and they're going to expose it. You get me? They see a weakness, and they will expose it, and they should, because that's what you want to do to win the championship, innit? If you see a weakness in your rival, you want to go for it. So let's have a brief look over the weekend regarding the Grand Prix. This is what we're here for, the debrief, to talk about the USA Grand Prix in Texas. I actually like this track, by the way, Toto. It's one of my, it's one of the tracks I really like. What about you? What do you think of this track? I really like the track.
USA is a good track. I think turn one is really where overtakes usually happen. But we've always said this about USA. It consists of mixed tracks. You got that twisty sections like Silverstone. You got the chicane, which is like Brazil, and you got that long straight as well. There's a lot of straights. Very technical circuit. You got to be really up to scratch with your skills, your driving skills here.
Yeah.
Because
It's got a bit of a bolt. It's got a bit of a few.
Yeah,
tracks in it.
it's got some technical. It's got some technical sections and some straight line speed sections.
But the track has got like it's got the characteristics of different tracks. Like a bit like it's got like the one when the one that goes up the hill, the first straight. That's basically Austria, and then you got the Maggots and Beckett's. Then you got Brazil. You know, when it comes down to the Maggots and Beckett's, that little term that goes down, that's Brazil. Yeah. And then you got Maggots and Beckett's, which is Silverstone. They got the straight, which is the Monza straight. So it's got a lot of characteristics of different tracks, and that's why I probably like it. I think out of the 3 tracks of USA Grand, out of the 3 tracks that are on the calendar, what are based in America, I think that this one is probably my favorite. I think to watch is exciting. It's probably Las Vegas, Las Vegas, the lights, the glitz, the glamour. But I think this track out of the 3 USA tracks, I think this is probably the best one. I would like him to go back to Indianapolis. When he had that, there was there when Schumacher was there a couple of years. There was there Indianapolis. I would like F1 to go back to there. What do you think if they went back there? That would be quite.
Indianapolis are good. It's a really good circuit.
One of the oldest tracks in the world.
It's a really good circuit, one of the legendary tracks. It'll be good to go back there. I reckon it can.
Yeah.
But again, anyway, it's the contract stuff and
that's what it is. They'd rather have it somewhere else, somewhere in a bush. Anyway, let's have a look at the Grand Prix. So Max Stafford starting off on a good weekend, winning the sprint qualifying and the sprint race. So, what did you think of this, man?
I think the main topic of the sprint race is the 2 McLarens going out.
The sprint race, yeah.
It was a very crucial point for Lando and Piastri to try build the gap away from Max, because Max is closing in and Max won the sprint race. So, and also Max got maximum points for this weekend, which is a bit worrying. But I think it was a mistake from McLaren's side of things. They should have at least finished with points. McLaren should have. Especially Lando trying for the title, because I want Lando to win the title in it. So Lando should have at least finished with points. It was just a horrible mistake. Again, inconsistency. He just is inconsistent.
How much you win for the sprint? 8 points, isn't it? You win for the
8 points. 8 points. The crucial points. It could build you a really good gap, but none of them finished with points, which is really bad. It's just this inconsistency now. Ever since Red Bull's got better, McLaren's been more inconsistent with their recent performances. And of course, Ferrari and Mercedes getting better as well. Maybe they're struggling to keep up with the pace. Maybe they're not the fastest car anymore. I don't think they are anymore. I think it's more track dependent now. Because looking at the overall pace, looks like Red Bull's the fastest car at the moment. Then it's McLaren. Then Mercedes, Ferrari, or Ferrari, Mercedes, whatever. But I don't think McLaren's that dominant car they used to. So it's gonna be different. That you won't see McLaren win race out into the end of the season now. You will see a change in performances, but hopefully Lando can get points on the board.
Yeah, SQ1 when I had the sprint qualified as well. Norris was actually the fastest in when I had the qualifying for the SQ1. So it looked like that Lando was going to show some speed. You get me? It was going to look like that McLaren was back. But you can't really trust Red Bull when it comes to Red Bull. Yeah, they wait to the last minute, the last lap, and then they pull something out. That's what Max does, isn't it? That's what Red Bull do. So, look, at the end of the day, right? Hamilton, he set the fastest in P2 as well. So Hamilton was looking good in this at this point. During SQ1, Hamilton was looking good in SQ1 and SQ2 as well. But but Red Bull had the better of everybody. You get me? There was just it was basically Max's weekend. Get me? It
He
was
checked
Max's.
out. He checked out.
He checked out. He did. I agree.
It looked like the car that Max was in when he was on that domination.
In
When he was winning
2022
them.
and 23.
Yeah. When they had that absolute amazing car.
Yeah.
When they had Adrian Newey there, and they just had that absolute amazing leader gap. You know, they was out on their own, driving the race, had a free pit stop, and they're taking the mick basically. Of everyone.
Look,
But
yeah.
this brought flashbacks the way the Red Bull car is now.
Yeah, and look, when McLaren was winning everything, yeah, we as racing fans, we feared this will probably happen. You get me? That Max Verstappen might come back, because I remember they used to ask Piastri in multiple interviews every single race weekend, "Oh, you think you're gonna win the title?" You said, "Nah," but Max is still there. As long as Max is still there, that Red Bull car might just switch on, and it did. So during the race, even after all the warnings that was given to the team that we alluded to at the beginning of the video, all the warnings that they gave them, all the punishments, they never said what the punishment was. I'd rather just not say nothing, you get me? If you're not going to tell us what the punishment is, why are you coming out in the press and telling us that Lando Norris is going to get punished from now to the end of the season? It doesn't make sense. See, Red Bull wouldn't do that, you get me? Red Bull would keep it in-house, you get me? Away from the media. But for some reason, McLaren feel like they have to tell the media every little thing that they do. When Lando Norris goes for a number 2, they got to tell the press. When Oscar Piastri is going out whining and dining with his missus, they got to tell the press. I don't understand why they can't just keep it down. And they told the press at the beginning of the weekend, we are punishing Lando Norris, but we're not going to tell you what it is. If you're not going to tell him, keep your mouth shut, innit? Because all it is putting more pressure on yourself, more pressure on your drivers. So when the lights out the way we go in the sprint race, what happened? The two cars went both out. Nico Rosberg was involved in it, but they both went out. What was your thoughts about this?
I think a lot of points lost. A lot of points lost. I know it's only 8 points. But again, they're points where you can both score. It's top 8 for points, I think, in the sprint race.
Yeah.
They could have at least gotten the podium for the sprint race. The two McLarens. They had a decent enough car. They even could have challenged Max as well.
Yeah, Max did have a good start though.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. He had a good start in the race. He pulled away very, very cleanly.
I think it was just a stupid mistakes from the McLaren drivers. Yeah, Hulkenberg was in the way, but still, it was a stupid mistake. They shouldn't have put themselves in that position in the day. And it's just more points lost for no reason.
People saying that was Hulkenberg's fault. He put both of the cars out basically.
Yeah, he did.
He dropped down as well.
Yeah, but that's Formula One for you. You know, you're gonna have incidents like that. It's just your best bet to avoid them.
Yeah,
and don't be a hero into turn 1 or whatever, and just keep it calm.
But you got to hold your position. You don't want the man to take you over.
Yeah.
Overtake. But it's one of those corners, isn't it? With the USA Grand Prix, you go straight up because it's so steep. The elevation is phenomenal. You go straight up here, and then all of a sudden, when you get to the top, you get the crosswind. You get the crosswind right at the top, and that's where you're gonna have balance. And a lot of people, when they do get to that top of the first corner, they usually spin. There's so many spins on that first corner, it's unreal because the elevation, you're going up and it's like that. It doesn't seem like that on TV, but when you're there, it's like that.
Yeah.
And when you get to the top of the hill, your car comes up like that, and then all of a sudden you get the elevation of the wind and the car spin. But yeah, Max wouldn't come to be at the end. And Nico Hulkenberg, the clown, he was down to him as well. For me, he kind of messed up their weekend at the beginning, really, wasn't it, with Nico Hulkenberg? And the commentators all say Nico Hulkenberg, Hulk. I'm happy for him. Yeah. Happy for him. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. How about you get someone, your other driver who's get a young driver in there. You get me. I know Nico Hulkenberg. He's been there and done it. But people gone a lot of Nico Hulkenberg's won multiple races. He has had one podium in his whole career. He's been in Formula One for over 15 years. What are we doing here, man? What are we doing here? And it's not like he hasn't been in good teams. What about that one in 2018 when he could have won the German Grand Prix? And there was only 4 laps to go, and what did he do? He crashed himself out. You remember that one? Oh, that race? Oh, okay. All right.
I remember that race.
Yeah. It was good anyway. I liked it. It was a good race. That's when everybody was spinning in that corner, man. It was funny.
Yeah, it was aquaplaning, and it got too wet, and it was aquaplaning. And then once you hit the aquaplaning, there's nothing really you can do. Your car just slacks off.
Yeah, it was funny. So let's go on to that. Was the end of the sprint race. Now we're gonna go on to Saturday. We had a qualifying session on Saturday. Max Verstappen had seized pole position for United States Grand Prix. The Dutchman initially lapping Q3, proving enough to secure the top spot after running out of time to put in his last effort.
I think.
So hold on, well, Max Verstappen, he put in a brilliant lap in Q3. I think it was 1 minute 3. 1 minute 32. Brilliant lap. Absolutely amazing lap. I'll give him that. But usually you go for another lap at the end, innit? So what happened, for some bizarre reason, the left Max Verstappen in the garage a little bit too long. But when he came around to do his last lap, he ran out of time. So advantage, you would think, to the other drivers, innit? So what was your thoughts on this?
I think this whole qualifying really, I think it was about who gets out first and who gets out last, because there was two options. Is either you go out first and get your so-called banker lapping, and either you wait till you go out last and then get it right at the end. If you look at Max and Lando, they all did his lap slightly later, but Max took the risk and went out first, which I think I would have done if I was in that position. If I know there's going to be a lot of traffic on track, I will go out first, get clear air, no dirty air in the way, and just get my clear air lap, and then go from there. I think that was the best option. But it's very, very interesting, this qualifying. Mix of drivers. Again, Ferrari getting a good result. Mercedes, George Russell getting a good result. But you can see there's a mix of teams now, and they're very, very close to each other in terms of lap times. Like the top 5 was all in 1:32s. So Verstappen 32.5, Lando 32.8, Leclerc 32.8. The second to fourth all had a 32.8. So you can see the cars are very, very close to each other compared to races ago.
But it turned out to be enough with his time putting in a 2 attempts clear of the coolest challenge, which was Lando Norris. Lando Norris couldn't capitalise in it, nor could Oscar Piastri. I think Oscar Piastri's weekend was terrible, really. He couldn't get to grips with this car for some reason, for some bizarre reason. He couldn't get to grips with this car, especially the statement that Lando was the one going to get punished, and it seemed like Oscar Piastri was getting punished. You get me? So advantage again, Max Verstappen. So let's move on to the race, shall we? The race. So lights out of the way we go. Max Verstappen getting a good start, but unfortunately, Lando Norris not getting a good start, because what happened? He tried to start him initially. The first start, good start. Obviously, Max Verstappen got his start, and then for some reason he was trying to cover Max off, but he forgot about Charles Leclerc in third place. Charles Leclerc came up the middle, took him, away from Lando Norris. Lando Norris ended up falling to third place. Now, this is becoming what would I say? This is becoming normal for Lando Norris. You've always complained about this TOTO hammer about Lando Norris, that Lando Norris is not getting his starts on par. He's not getting his starts. He keeps having crap starts. He's not the best of starter. If you want to win the championship, you have to work on your starts. For me, this is where the race was lost, in my opinion, for Lando Norris. His race was lost in the first corner, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on the start of Lando Norris?
Yeah, I think his initial getaway was good. His getaway was good. He was ahead of Leclerc on the getaway, really. But we all know first corner, it's a very, very wide radius. It's more likely, especially when you're racing, of course, a normal racing line outside in, we all know that, right? But especially in the race when everything's tight, the tightest line is not usually the best line. It's usually the wider line, because the wider line turns into an inside line next corner. And if you stick it around the outside, it is the faster line. So Leclerc was thinking, look, I'll force Lando. This is good racecraft by Leclerc anyway. Forced Lando onto the inside, put him under pressure. Lando went for the defensive line, which in any other track, the inside is the best line. But for that specific first corner, the outside line was the best line. So Leclerc took the fast line, which is the most simpler way to explain it. Leclerc took the faster line, the outside line, and he just swooped round Lando because Lando took the tighter line and he
I
was
know this.
struggling to
I know
build a pace.
that's. I mean, so I think the race for me. I think the race was lost then, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The race was lost then. Right. So good start for Max Verstappen, we both alluded to. Lando's crap start, which we both agree. He had a good getaway, but when it came to that corner, he failed. Lewis was into 4th place, so big up to Lewis Hamilton. Still showing those bias, showing those commentators that he can still drive, which I don't think he actually cares about him, by the way. He knows what to say about him, but I don't think he cares. Seen he'd been there, done it. Norris was chasing Leclerc on lap 3, he was looking like he had good pace. I gotta admit it, by lap 3, when he was chasing Leclerc, Lando Norris looked like he had pace. You get me? So I was thinking, okay, he's showing a bit of pace. Good. I want to see it. So, Ferrari was fast in race trim. I remember Martin Brundle was saying it during the race. He said he's fast in race trim. So, fair enough. Ferrari looking good in the race. Not really good for McLaren, though, is it? Not really. So, Sainz hit Antonelli and brought out the safety car. That was during lap 7. Now, look, Sainz coming to Williams hasn't been the best of starts, in my opinion, Toto. What's your thoughts on Sainz going to Williams?
We've talked about. I think we talked about this once this season as well. Sainz isn't really getting up to grips with the car.
No,
of course, Albon is outperforming him mostly every race.
Yeah,
considering Sainz got a DNF as well.
Yeah,
and we all know in Formula One, you have to beat your teammate if you want to show up and you want to be that first drive. You want to be the main man. You want to have first strategy. You've got to beat your teammate. Simple as that. And Albon has been having them over most of the time this season. Yeah. Look, the next regulations, it could be different. That's where you got to kind of give. Speaking from a neutral point of view, Carlos Sainz or not a Carlos Sainz fan. I like Carlos Sainz as the driver. Maybe next season he will perform better because of the new regulations. Maybe, going to a new team in these regulations maybe didn't suit his kind of driving style, kind of, if you know what I mean. So maybe next regulations.
Maybe the car's just dog poo. Yeah. Maybe the car's just.
I mean, Williams has been putting up more points this season, but again, it's still not where it is. If you compare Williams from back in the day, it's not where it is. But look, Sainz can wait till the next regulations. Hopefully, that will help him out.
Basically, Sainz can do his rip. So let's move on to the next one. Lap 20, Norris passes Leclerc. Took 18 laps to do it. So it took Lando Norris 18 laps because, it took 18 laps to pass Leclerc. So for me, like I said at the beginning of the race, when he didn't capitalize on that the start that he had, and Leclerc passed him at the start, for me, the race was finished. Now, a lot of people could come to me and say, yeah, but he's got the good car, he's got a fast car, but so is Ferrari now. Maybe he should do better. He had enough. He passed him eventually. Yeah, he passed him eventually, but it took him 18 laps to pass Leclerc. And what happens when you're in the dirty air of a car? It puts pressure and grain on your tires. You know this, Toto. You're a racer. You know what's going down. Yeah. It puts pressure on your tires, and you have to pit earlier than you want to. Very simple.
I think Lando should have done better.
Come on, he don't take 18 laps, yeah. And plus he had 3 warnings as well. Remember that? 3 track warnings, another warning. He would have got a 5-second time penalty. So the pressure was on Lando to pass Charles Leclerc. So this is what I'm saying, right, about drivers. Now, when I see Oscar Piastri, I think Oscar Piastri, for me, is a better driver than Lando. I don't care. That's just my opinion. I think Oscar Piastri is a better driver, right? You never heard of Oscar Piastri getting no warnings for drivers' limits. I don't think I've ever heard of Oscar Piastri getting any warnings like that this year. Lando gets it a lot. You get me? I think he's a better driver, in my opinion. I think he's more clinical when he needs to be, in my opinion. I think he's really good. Don't get me wrong, Lando Norris is a very exciting driver, and I think he will win a world champion. Hopefully, I would like him to win the world title. Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's had his opportunities, and for me, my point of view, I don't think it would take Oscar Piastri 18 laps to pass Charles Leclerc in that Ferrari. I think if Oscar Piastri was in Lando's car in that position, I think he would have done it in less. That's just my opinion. I don't know what you think.
I think it was a bit frustrating how long he was behind Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
I think Leclerc did a great job at defending. All praise to Leclerc. I think he did a great job at defending on them soft tyres. He went for more the aggressive strategy at the beginning. He had a little gap on Lando, which allowed him to tyre manage a bit more.
Yeah.
But when Lando was behind him, I think
a little bit more, yeah. But he was on the soft tyres.
Yeah.
So they're going to grain earlier. I know what you mean, because he was in the dirty air.
Yeah, so Leclerc was just placing his car at the right time.
Yeah.
Lando should have done better. He should have been closer. End of the day, he's on better tyres come to this race. Of course, softer is quicker, but more, we all know, mediums last longer.
Yeah.
So theoretically, Lando should have got the move done a bit earlier. But again, while Leclerc's defending and Lando's in Leclerc's dirty air, it's not good for Lando, and of course, it puts more advantage towards Leclerc. And the Max is getting away as well. Every single lap, Max was getting away more and more seconds. I think soon as Lando cleared Leclerc, you can see the gap slightly coming down to Max. But again, Max was still quick. But again, the gap was less. But Lando took too long to pass Leclerc. That was the problem. That's what I was complaining about. I'm thinking, why are you taking this long to pass Leclerc when you got Max to catch up? You need to go win this race. You need Max to catch him. You're taking too long to pass Leclerc. I think it was a great defensive work from Leclerc. I think he forced him out wide a lot of times. Not purposely forced him out wide.
He put his car in the right, made the car big.
Which allowed Lando to get more track limits, and that put Lando on the back foot being more cautious. So again, that allowed...
This is where Lando has to find a way, though.
And that allowed Leclerc more breathing room to defend better, because he knows Lando's on a... Ferrari will be telling me this, that Lando's on 3 warnings, 1 more, he gets a 5-second penalty. So Lando can be more cautious. Leclerc was loving that. The guy who was loving it the most was Max Verstappen, because when them two were battling, he was losing tyre grain, Leclerc was losing grip as well, and Max Verstappen was getting away. And Leclerc was playing for the undercut as well.
Exactly. So soon as Lando passed him, not long after, Leclerc pitted. Clever. So at this point, we was thinking to ourselves, look, they need to pit Lando now, because if they don't pit Lando, he's going to get done on the undercut. And guess what happened? They never pitted him. I thought it was a mistake.
Yeah,
I think they should have pitted Lando the lap after.
When Leclerc was playing for that, driving for that undercut from Lando, as soon as Lando passed him, he went to the pits a couple of laps earlier. Yeah. And when Leclerc had a fast 2 out laps, and then when Lando came in the pits, Leclerc got the jump on him, and he had so much more seconds above Lando, and Lando had to put more work on his tyres to catch up Leclerc.
And it was good, because at the end of the day, as soon as they pitted Leclerc, Hamilton set the fastest lap. So Hamilton was happy, because Hamilton set he set the fastest middle sector, and he was in free air because they pitted Leclerc. So Hamilton was happy as well. So Hamilton, I'm looking at them too. I'm looking at the Ferrari, and the Ferrari looks like he's getting some juice in the car, and it looks like he's picking up speed. They're not so good in the qualifying, but when it comes to race trim, I think the Ferrari cars are right there. And the thing about it, before what was a bit weird for me regarding the Ferraris is when Lewis was behind Leclerc, I don't understand why they didn't tell Leclerc to move over. You know, just before he was going to pit, there was actually let them battle. If you go back to that lap before Leclerc pitted, basically Lewis was coming around the corner. He was clearly the fastest car. Okay, but they didn't tell Leclerc to move over. They made Leclerc stay there, get in the way of Hamilton, and Hamilton he had to battle past him, which I thought was weird. I thought Ferrari could have just said to Leclerc, Hamilton's coming, just move over, you get me? Because he was going for the pit anyway. So lap 31, Piastri pits, put the soft tyres on. Look, I think the pit had been Piastri a bit early. It was lap 31 and he put the soft tyres on. And for me, that's lap 31. They should have waited for at least lap 36 or 37, because on soft tyres at the USA Grand Prix with all the graining issues that the McLarens had this weekend, that's a long way to go if you're going for a one-stop on the soft tyres. So what was your thoughts on this with pitting Piastri on lap 31?
Well, he did start on the mediums. Again, there was two strategies: soft, medium, soft. So he had no other choice.
I think they pitted him too early.
Yeah, you can say that as well.
Because
Because on mediums, you can extend your stint.
Yeah.
You can extend your stint a lot more. I think that's when the time management phase comes into play.
Yeah.
Again, Piastri was so far down the board, he had to gain track position.
He was going. He looked like he was going for a two-stop, and I'll be at this
because
point.
he wanted to go for more aggressive strategy to gain more positions.
Mm.
Because he weren't really gaining nothing in that car.
No.
He was really struggling. He couldn't really get on the Mercedes either
all weekend.
He couldn't even get on Antonelli. He was in the Mercedes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Piastri had to try something, a more aggressive strategy, maybe a more softer strategy to have a pace advantage. But he still never had a pace advantage. He never made no track position.
Yeah,
really.
no traction, no nothing. It's like to slow this car down.
Yeah.
Because at the weekend, there was going to slow down Lando. Or like he was going to get punished. But it seems like that Piastri's getting punished. Because where did his pace go, man, this weekend?
Lando put a good performance in.
Yeah, I know, but Piastri's pace was nowhere.
Yeah.
His telemetry, his car, his dashboard, they've done some analysis, you know, when they do like the Anthony when he does on the screen. I think it was Crew doing it this weekend where they analysed the races. And they was actually saying on there, they were saying where Piastri's pace was gone. There was no pace all weekend. But it's weird. It's weird anyway. Let's move on. So Lando Norris pits as well. Bit of a delay in the pits. 3.8 seconds. Listen, McLaren needs to sort these pits out. I'm not sure. You know, the equipment that they're using now, I don't think they can change it. It's part of the rules of F1. I think all the stuff that they're using now, you know, the gun, the rear gun and all that, to put the tyres on, they can't change them because it's the rules of Formula One. So what if there's faults with the equipment? They need to rectify it because they're losing time in the pits lately. The last couple of races, they're becoming amateurs in the pit. So they need to sort that out because, you know, as a driver, if your pit team and if you're delay in the pits, that could decide the championship. You get me? Yeah. So lap 51, finally, I was actually tuning out at this point, Toto. I was actually tuning out of the race. We had Max Verstappen was in front, second was Leclerc, and Lando was third. So again, Lando was behind Leclerc again. And at this point, I was thinking it's going to finish Lando third, isn't it? Because Lando was saying his tyres were gone. He made a try for it to try and catch Leclerc for them 4 laps. You remember that one when he was chasing him for 4 laps? And at the end of the 4 laps, he said, my tyres have gone. So at this point, I was thinking, you know what? He's just going to get third, isn't it? He's just going to get third. So did you think he was going to get third at this point?
Yeah, at this point, I was thinking third, but when he was catching up to Leclerc, I was thinking it was good time management phase from Lando, in my opinion. Great time management from Lando on the medium tyres to catch up with Leclerc. And I think, you know, he got his second.
No, I just don't laugh at that. Something.
He got his second. And he was good in the day. He got points on Piastri. Again, you want to see Piastri up there.
Yeah, but did you expect him to at this point of the race? No. Did you expect him to pass Leclerc in lap 51?
No. I thought Leclerc
got it.
Yeah.
So at the end, Max Verstappen ended up winning it. He won the race. Second was Lando. Good result for Lando, in my opinion. He could have done a bit better. The McLaren are saying that Lando had the pace to win the race. So obviously you're gonna say that now. They're not gonna say they didn't have the pace, but he said Lando could have won. Lando could have won if he would have passed Leclerc. There's the first scenario once Leclerc passed him. For me the race was done for him there, but he took him 18 laps to pass Leclerc. 18 laps. Imagine if that McLaren was in a clear air. Did you see how fast that car was when he was out in clear air when he passed Charles Leclerc? Yeah. If he would have kept second at the beginning, I think he might have had a chance to catch Max Verstappen. But the fact that he got stuck behind the Ferraris, and the Ferraris now are quite fast, it was a bit hard for him. So it is what it is. So Max Verstappen winning it, and that's it, man. That's it, Toto, for the debrief.
That's what I mean. Like, qualifying is very, very key now.
Yeah.
from McLaren in the need to utilise qualifying, at least getting the top three,
Top
so
three.
they can avoid all that dirty air.
Yeah, top three, 100%. Yeah, with the dirty air, yeah, I think it's track Pacific, innit? I think when it comes to somewhere like Baku and somewhere like Silverstone and somewhere like Las Vegas, I don't think the dirty air really comes into play. It's more tracks like the USA one where you've got the little twisty corners. It's more like Singapore. You saw it in Singapore when Max was doing his lap in it, and then Lando was in his dirty air, actually just going into the pits, and it messed up his lap. And Max went on the radio, so look, he just got him away. Remember when he was going for his lap and his fast lap, he hit that corner, Max Verstappen, and that last corner, Lando was going to the pits, and because Lando was in his dirty air, it messed up his lap. I think the next track that we're going to is Mexico. I think that is definitely a track where you can get done in the dirty air. You get me? That can affect your race. So you're right about that. But I think it's track specific. I think when it comes to like Monza, the dirty air don't mean nothing. That's a bum straight down. I don't think that means anything so much. But it's more for like the Singapore tracks, more like stuff like that. The Baku, they're the ones that can do you over, and Mexico as well. So Toto, anything to say before we head off? You said you're going to do some videos.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I'm going to be doing a little pre-record.
F1 and football, yeah?
Yeah.
Keep it short, 5 minutes, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what's coming up on my channel, Toto Hammer. And yeah, that's all really for my view.
Yeah. Big up. So I'm going to be heading off now. That's it, man. I'm going to be heading off. Big up to everyone. Big up to everyone who watching Formula One. Sorry about the TikTok playing up every time I go live. Goes live for 5 minutes, then it suddenly comes and says live visibility restricted. Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted to research results because it contains unoriginal or reproduced content. This is aligned with the TikTok live section under our community guideline. I don't understand why it's doing that, but it is what it is. I don't care. So I don't know why it's doing that though. It's just doing it for some reason. It's just playing up today. Everything's playing up. So big up to everyone on TikTok if you want to watch me briefly. But big up to you and big up to the man them. Big up to the woman then. So heading off, hit the subscribe. See you later, guys. Toto is just glad to go. There you go. I know you're tired. Big up. Formula One, Mexico. Don't forget Thursday, we're going to be doing the Flaming Tarmac and we'll be talking about Mexico there. See you later, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. What we're doing tomorrow? Play a line up, innit?
Yeah, play a
line. Yeah. So big up to the people on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. I'm going to be uploading this video tonight. Big up to you guys. Big up.